Okay, so I love taking suggestions from you guys in the comment section, and sometimes you guys are just brilliant when it comes to giving me good video ideas, and the more the merrier. So if you have a good idea, leave it down below in the comments. Here's an example. Punkala says, "Hey Sean, here's an idea for a very useful video, a compilation of techniques when you need to control 1. A card to the top, 2. One card to the bottom, 3. One card to second from the top, 4. One card to second from the bottom, and 5. One or more cards, same as 1 and 4. Well, Punkala, I think that's a fantastic idea, and I'm definitely doing that video right now. So in case you haven't noticed already, I'm kind of feeling under the weather a little bit. I've been dealing with COVID-19 for the past week or so, but I'm finally feeling a little bit better and up to filming something today. So bear with me and the nasalness of my voice. Let's get into it. Okay, so for these controls, let's be honest, when you're out in the real world performing, you're not going to have a fancy velvet close-up pad such as this. You're going to have a hard table, so these controls are going to revolve around just having a normal table like this. Now, the cool thing about each of these controls is that they're all sort of the same fashion of control. What I mean by that, they're all sort of what I coin the scoop and shuffle control. Alright, so let's get into the first one, the control to the top. Alright, so what you're going to do is take the deck and spread it on the table however you want to. It doesn't have to be nothing like this. However you want to spread it is fine. Okay, now you have them pick a card and take it out while your back is turned, because you don't want to see what it is, right? So they take it out. And after they do that, you just scoop the deck up like this and pick it up. Now you ask them to look at their card and remember it. And while your back is still turned, you have them put it back face down on the table. So in this case, their card is the Ace of Spades. Look at that. Now what you're going to do is this. You spread the deck, and about halfway, you just break it about midpoint, right, like this. And what you're going to do is scoop that card up like this, okay? So what you're going to do here is you spread a card over. You just push a card over on the lower half here, and so use it as sort of like a spatula to scoop that card up like this, and you sort of anchor it down with the upper half. All right, so these cards go on top of it to sort of anchor it down so it doesn't slide everywhere, right? So these cards go on top, and use this card here as a spatula to scoop that card up like this. Now what you're going to do here is keep a break under that pushed over card. So not the card itself, not their selection, but the card that you've pushed over as your spatula card like this. You just keep a break under that card here as you close up the deck like this. And in fact, I'll do it this way. I'll give you a demo of what this control actually looks like, alright? So it's the control to the top. So they looked at their card, they put it on the table. You scoop it up like this. And let's see here. We'll give it a few cuts. In fact, we'll give it a shuffle as well, so your card is somewhere lost in the deck. But really, it's on top of the deck. All right, so the way you do this is, like I said, when you do the scoop, it'll end up on top of that pushed over card as you close up to get that break under this card here. So as you close up, you can do any number of things. You can do a double undercut like this, so that those two cards are on the bottom, or you can just simply do what I did and cut to the break to the table like this. So it's there, right? You scoop it up, keep it break under that card. You just cut at the break, right? It's right there. You cut at the break to the table, boom, 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 like this. Now, it's second from the bottom, either way you do, right? No matter what you do, it's second from the bottom. So you're going to do a slip shuffle to the top. And what I mean by that is you do an overhand shuffle, but you keep the bottom card in place with the tips of your fingers like this, right? Just do a slip shuffle so it'll end up on top when you complete the shuffle. Now, if it's one card to the bottom, same thing. They're all the scoop and shuffle controls. So if you want it on the bottom, you do the same scooping action. And you always do the keeping a break on the bottom card. As a rule of thumb, you just always do that so you never forget what you're doing, right? So it's always the scoop action, keep a break under that card, do your cut, you can do whatever you want to do. As long as it ends up second from the bottom, you're fine. Okay, so now what you do here is for the bottom control, just do another slip shuffle like this, but just throw them back on the bottom, so now it's on the bottom of the deck. So one card a second from the top, what do? Very simple. Same scooping action, keep a break below that scoop card like this. Do whatever kind of cut you want to do. Now, simply do an overhand shuffle without doing the slip shuffle. So, you know, it's second from the bottom anyway. So when you do the slip shuffle and run cards at the end, you're going to have that card second from the top. So, what about second from the bottom? It couldn't be easier. You do the same scooping action, keep it right under the spatula card like this. At this point, you don't even have to do a shuffle. It's already there, second from bottom, right? So, all these controls is the same thing. You just, you know, alter it where you need the card to be. So what about one or more cards, same as 1 and 4? And he's talking about having multiple cards, second from the top, and all the things he described here, but with multiple cards, right? So what you're going to do is the same thing, guys. It's the same exact thing. It doesn't hinder it whatsoever. In fact, nothing changes. So scoop them up like this. So you have multiple cards now, and let's say I wanted them on top, right? I do my cut, I do my slip shuffle, right, throw second from the bottom right now. I do my slip shuffle, just running those 2 aces back to the top. And everything I've just described is the same thing with multiple cards. Alright, so here's a bonus for you guys, if you're one of the ones who actually watch the whole video. Alright, so here's a cleaner way to do it without having to hold a break. You don't have to do a cut right away, or even a shuffle for that matter, and it's very clean. And here's what it looks like. So their card is the Ace of Spades. Again, everything is the same. You just scoop it up like this, so it really goes in the middle, holding no breaks, doing no cuts, no shuffles at this point, and you can just maybe give it a few cuts like this if you want to, or have them do it. And at some point, you just simply start shuffling the cards around, maybe something like this, whatever it is that you want to do, but all the while you have their card controlled where you need it to be, in this case on top of the deck. So, here's how you do that. If you watched my last video about a key card, then you know what I'm talking about here. It's the edge mark and pencil dot key card. So, you know, just take your pencil, color in a dot on both the white corners like this, so you can see it in the spread, right? And an edge mark right here on both edges, so you can see it on the side of the deck. Alright, so you have this card about the middle of the deck, so you can see it, you know, via the edge mark. Now, their card's on the table. Everything is the same. You spread to your key card, right? It's right here. And I just scoop it up. So now their card is going under the key card. This time you don't have to hold a break, nothing, since their card is going above, or I'm sorry, the key card is above their card, right? Just like that. So you close it up, put it on the table, close the deck up, square it up like this, and you have complete control over it because, you know, it's a key card. Now at this point, since you're using that visual key card, you can do anything you want to do. You can sort of shuffle the cards around like this, and just when you get to your key card, just throw those cards on top, and then their card is where you need it to be. And it's really that simple, guys. The magic is not hard. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got value from the video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.